What's going on, everyone? This is Vince from Life with Vince Lu, coming back at you with another episode of BJJ Blue Belt Chronicles, where I document my journey as a Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu Blue Belt. In today's episode, I want to talk about the things I am currently struggling with. Now, these 4 or 5 things I'm currently struggling with, it's not the only things that I'm doing wrong, but these are the things that, from self-reflection or just some feedback from the people around me, these are the things that I'm currently working on, that I currently struggle with, that I am trying to be better at. So the first thing that I am struggling with is that I keep getting my back taken in. It's a really bad habit, and I am definitely overcommitting when I'm trying to escape certain positions, and I just somehow or another give up my back. And it's just not a fun place to be. And also another place that's not fun to be is when someone gift wraps me or I gift wrap myself. So usually this happens when I am defending my neck, when they're mounting me, when there's side control S mount. I have a really bad habit of defending like this, and I need to be more defending like this, because when this happens, they'll usually just grab my wrist, my hand, my wrist, and then just pull, and then now I'm like this, and I got one hand. And then sometimes it's like my arm's choking myself. So just a very terrible position to be in. I have to remember home alone and not cross your face. I was going to say telephone, but that doesn't make any sense. So don't cross, home alone. And the next thing I feel like is it's more my decision making, and I feel like I'm just not addressing things in the right order. So for example, when I have someone in a single X and I have their leg and I'm trying to hip up, but they have my collar, they'll pull down my collar and then they'll put their knee on me, and I'm trying to hip up, I'm trying to relieve that pressure, and I'm pushing the knee instead of what I should be doing is taking care of that grip first. Because if I am able to break that grip, I'll be able to push them with my legs, get some more space, and then hopefully eventually sweep them. So this happens in a lot of different positions where I feel like I'm doing a move or I'm addressing something when in reality I should be addressing something else, right? So and then that kind of goes into just my decision making overall. I feel like right now I can chain things together, like instead of 1 to 2, maybe it's now 2 to 3. But sometimes I'll just sit there for a second or two a little too long, and obviously you can't just sit there and think about it. You just have to more react. And when I sit there and think about it, the person ends up sweeping me or getting out of the position that I fought so hard to be in. And that happens quite a lot to me. I think about it a little bit too much, and I need to be more reactive instead of thinking through it. Another bad habit is that I keep giving up position, and this can come from a lot of different places. Sometimes it's just me, I'll have a foot lock and I don't necessarily want to crank, but a lot of times I'll have, or what I think I have is a, pretty good submission, and I have it pretty tight, but then I feel like I'm like doing everything right, and the other person, usually if I can see them or if I can't see them, and I think that, I probably don't have the right angle, and I just give up on it. And when in reality, after the round, they're like, hey, you're really, really close. If you would have just kept going, if you would just kept attacking or squeezing a little bit longer, I would have gave up in another 2 seconds. So I feel like that's a really bad habit of mine. I give up my position too easily. So what am I doing to fix these issues? So the first thing for me, I do a lot of reflection after the rounds that we have during class. I make sure to write it down, whatever positions that I'm stuck in or whatever things that I'm having trouble with. I really try to take a mental note, and then especially write it down on my phone, so that I'll bring these notes, bring these reflections to the black belt that I am taking privates with. I usually take the privates once a week, so it helps a lot. So I get to see him and ask all my questions weekly, and then he'll give me the adjustments, he'll give me the advice and say, hey, try this out and see if it works. And then usually it's, you rinse and repeat that. It's a reflection, and I take those reflections and then take it to the black belt. He gives me advice. And then when I'm in that position again, I'll use that advice. And then if the move doesn't work, or because there's probably something else that I'm missing, and I'll bring that back to him. And then it goes in a cycle and a cycle and a cycle. And then this, pretty much we've been doing this for, we've had about 35 or so privates, and it's worked really, really well because it's just little details and micro adjustments, and he's able to explain the shifting of the weight, where your foot might not be placed at the right angle, or you're not sitting close enough or far back enough, or just little itty bitty things. And for me, that's one big aspect that's really helped. Second thing is just more mat time. So the more mat time I feel that I have, the more times I'm able to practice moves, and more times I'm in these bad positions, and I'll remember, like a second in or 2 seconds in, when someone's mounting me, and then I'm here, I'm like, oh wait, I gotta come here. And then it's just a reminder that the more times that I'm in these positions, even if it's the wrong positions or I'm doing the wrong things, it'll give me that exposure to practice that. For me, I feel like I need to make those bad decisions. Each bad decision that I make is hopefully one step closer to making the right decisions. So just more mat time. Yeah, so hope you all enjoyed that video. If you did, please give it a thumbs up. If you haven't already subscribed, consider subscribing. Other than that, see y'all soon.